This is probably gonna piss off a lot of people, but a relationship between a man and a woman is inherently unequal.
I mean, I would say that since by now everyone should know that men and women aren't exactly equal. Men are much stronger. Men have shinglings that they can plug into females, and we get pleasure from it.
And that goes for any relationship where someone is deciding to date their oppressor.
Oh dear. I'm guessing I'm in trouble because I end up marrying my oppressor. If being with a man means being oppressed, please oppress me, daddy, because I enjoy being oppressed.
Just like all white people have racism brainwashed into them, all males have misogyny brainwashed into them.
I guess I'm also dating my white oppressor too, since I'm a minority. I'm a black fox who married a white wolf. Whatever am I gonna do? It's actually a lot more pleasurable than it looks. And since, we're not in the age of women being in chains or being servants anymore, I'm pretty sure people get married to or date whoever they choose to. My mate chased me, but I first let him know that I liked him, because he was so painfully shy he wouldn't have said shit. And then after I said so, he did all the chasing. And then I chased back. And then he asked me my life partner. And you know what I did? I said yes, because I wanted that. And I love the dick so much. And because males have this magical natural candy cane that sticks out of them that also shoots out candy cream, I'm sorry, but personally, for me, that makes the oppression worth it.
And any male who claims not to be a misogynist is a misogynist.
I don't totally agree with that. That's like someone telling you that you're a gold digger and a hoe. And them then saying, and if you say that you're not, that means by default that you are. You see how that argument works? No matter what that person does, they're always guilty. It's like people coming up and telling you, bitch, you're crazy. And you saying, no, I'm not. And then they tell you, well, because you said you're not, that means you by de facto are. It's not a very intelligent argument. And it's not very fair, because I met a lot of men who are not. If anything, I would say that that's fear-mongering and kind of slander.
Because a self-aware man knows that he has it brainwashed into him. And anytime that a woman decides to be in a relationship with a man, she's making a sacrifice and a commitment knowing that she's dating her oppressor.
Isn't a man also making a sacrifice to be with a woman knowing that she could just claim that he did something to her, even though he didn't, and have his life ruined and everything taken away from him, including his children? Look, I'm a female too, but I can't ignore the obvious bias and difference between how the justice system treats males and females. I've had friends, male friends, that me and my partner both saw get tossed the pitchfork, like into his neck, knowing that he was innocent. Even the cops knew he was innocent when he tried to break it off with this crazy female that he was dating. She told him, I was gonna tell everybody that you hit me. When he still decided that he didn't want to have anything to do with her, she called the cops. And the cops straight up told him, yeah, we believe you, man. There's no evidence of it, but because she said that, sorry, you're still gonna get punished, and it sucks. The policeman told him that. So yeah, he got in trouble because evidence wasn't required. I'm sorry, but if I was a guy, that would scare the shit out of me.
Almost all women have sexual trauma and emotional abuse trauma, literally just from society. And she's taking a risk in being with you and making a commitment to help you undo your brainwashing.
Yeah, I do have all that trauma too. But ironically, that sexual trauma is from men and from women. Yes, mostly from men, but from men and women. But I also grew up mature enough to know that not all men are like that. My father's not like that. A lot of my friends aren't like that. As a matter of fact, they're painfully on the other side of the equation, where they're constantly fighting to put women on this pedestal, which is honestly very nauseating for a female, or at least for me. Now, I think it's very important to understand what these people mean by misogyny, because I've told females straight up that I like taking care of my male. I don't want to be taken advantage of, sometimes, but I enjoy making food for him. Sometimes I make more than he does. Right now he's making more than I do. But even when I was making more, I still took care of him. Not like a child, but you know what he did do when he wasn't making more than me? He did shit around the house that I really didn't want to do or I couldn't do. He can program shit. He's also a handyman. He can do anything. I swear to God, that's like his superpower. And the least I could do when he's fixing our cars and fixing up the house is making some fucking food. And I'm sorry, like they make it seem like men are oppressing us because of sex or something. Have you ever considered that some of us really freaking like it? The only way I'm oppressed is that I have a way higher drive than he does. And at the start of our relationship, I was the one oppressing him because I kept chasing him around. I had to learn to back that off because it was making him uncomfortable. It's not that he didn't want it, it's just that he didn't want it like 24/7. And that's understandable. Part of that is from my past as well. And in that way, I feel like the man of the relationship because I can understand how men must feel when it's the other way around. I wonder, when making these videos, if people consider the women in all this. I also know that there's a lot lot of women that are also oppressors. Do you know that women can be abusers in relationships too?
No, of course, I'm not saying that people shouldn't date the opposite gender, but a lack of awareness can cause problems.
Okay, thanks for making us aware. Honestly, if I had to choose, and this is coming from a female, and I was still on the market, I would choose men every time. Because women are fucking crazy, and we both have hormones. And then you have two of those in a relationship? Sorry, but that's like putting two Tasmanians together for long periods of time and expecting anything good to come out of it. Personally, that's not for me. Personally. At the end of the day, I think we should leave people up to make their own decisions and stop putting freaking broad stroke labels on everyone. Because the truth is, you don't know everybody individually. Painting males with such a broad stroke brush is like painting black people or painting Chinese people with a broad stroke brush, or painting foxes with a broad stroke brush. Generalizing is not a healthy way to make an argument, unless you're talking about human beings or life forms in general, like we all need water or some shit like that. I'm sure there's like 0.0.0.0, that's not even a freaking term. But you get what I'm saying. I'm sure there's some people out there who probably don't need water to live. I haven't met them. I don't know of them, but they're not the norm. So you can see generally all life forms need water to live in some way, shape, or form. But when it comes to someone's character, you cannot generalize that because that really comes down to the individual. Kind of like fingerprints. Females are not oppressed in America unless they came from another country that has that culture and they're still living with those cultural identities. The very fact that we can say no and choose whoever we want to be with, and like the freaking voices of God, we have the power to say, oh my God, you violated me, and then people just automatically believes us, kind of means that we're sort of the oppressors.